Hey guys, it's Pixie, and just warning you guys, I had my first monster tonight, and yes, Pixie is 20 years old and just had his first monster. Way off, anyways, probably noticed I said 20 and not 19 because the 9th was mine and my little brother's birthday. He turned 10, I turned 20, so I've been just hanging out with the family and sleeping a lot. I'm really tired well, I was really tired, and then I had a monster. Moving on, writers are perfectionists, and I think we all know this to some degree. Writers are very picky, and this can be very evident in how they, very apparent, yes, in how they write their rough drafts. For instance, most people I know are crazy about their first draft, and I was too, was. They want everything to be perfect. They want the grammar to be perfect. They want all the punctuation to be perfect, all the capitalization, all the spelling, all the character development, all the character arcs, and all this to be perfect. Because they're writing like someone's going to read it. There's this quote that I keep seeing in my Tumblr feed, and yes, I love Tumblr, and you might have found this video on Tumblr. I don't know. Maybe you did, because I always share it to my blog. But where'd my train of thought even go? Hold on, guys. I'm bringing it back in. All right. Um, there's this quote that always shows up on my Tumblr, and it's like, it's something to the effect of, there's no limit to how rough your rough draft can be. And this is true. And a lot of people write their rough draft as though someone else is going to read it. And that's not the draft someone should be reading. Your first draft, first and foremost, is for you. It's to get the story out. It's to get the idea down on paper. It's not going to be perfect. Maybe it's not going to be the way you want it to be. And that's okay. If your first draft is like paragraphs and then some bullet points here and there, and it really looks like just an extended outline, that's still a rough draft. Believe it or not, there's no limit to how rough it can be. When I do my first draft, a lot of people probably don't know what this is, but this is called an Alpha Smart. And it's kind of like a portable keyboard. I write on here, and then I hook it up and I attach it to a document. And I edit the spelling, but that's about it. And then I leave it be, and I go write the next chapter, and I go write the next chapter. And then suddenly I have a whole book. Now, does that mean there's going to be a lot of errors? Yes, of course there's going to be a lot of errors. There's supposed to be errors. It's a first draft. Because I don't write it like someone else is going to read it. I write it like I'm going to read it. So, yeah, I'm going to get annoyed and I'm going to cringe and I'm going to be like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? But it also lets me see my writing in the rawest form. I don't, when I write so that people can read, I'm not seeing it in the rawest form. I'm seeing it polished and pretty. I'm not seeing what I need to work on. I'm not seeing what I need to improve on. And that's another thing about the rough draft is you can really learn what you need to focus on. Like for me, I have a really hard time describing scenery, and I know that. So when I write my rough drafts, there are very few and far between descriptions of places. So what I do? I print that off. I take my nifty little red pen, I uncap it. Actually, I use the green pen for that, to be honest. I color code everything. I grab the green pen and I say scenery. I underline it, and then I do little plus signs, or if something's overly explained that doesn't need to be, I'll circle it and add a minus sign. Your first draft should be covered in editing marks. It should have things crossed out. There should be pluses here and there. There should be minuses here and there. Because your first draft, and I'm going to keep saying it, is for you. The first draft's sole purpose is to get the story out. It's not to get the characters perfect. It's not to get the scenery perfect. It's not to get the grammar, the punctuation, the capitalization perfect. It's to get it out before it goes away. When you remove this need for perfectionism, is that even a word? We're just going to run with it because I'm running on a monster right now. When you remove the need to be perfect, when you remove the need for everything in the story to be perfect, you get the rawest form of the rawest form of the story. You are going to get the bare meat and bones of your story. You know what? Maybe you'll only get the bones of your story, and that's okay. Writing is a process, and when you try to treat it like it's can be done like that, you're not going to get your best work. It might be pretty, but is it you? Probably not. So, to all the writers who are perfectionists about their first rough draft, if you're not cringing at your first draft, maybe you need to go back and look a little harder. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people who can probably write a rough draft and be very pleased with it. There are some people who do that very, very well. But in my personal experience, and this is my personal experience with myself and other writers, the first draft is really to introduce yourself to the story, not your reader. You are your reader for the first draft. And keep that in mind that it is one draft of many. I mean, your first draft could be maybe your second draft is more polished. Maybe your third draft is even better. Maybe by your fourth draft, you have that whole scenery issue fixed. Maybe by your fifth draft, your character's actually doing what you want them to. They never do, but let's pretend. The point is the drafts let you see improvement. For instance, I save my drafts. I save the first one and I put it in a binder. And that way I can see how much things have changed. I'll even put like a word count at the top of the page for a chapter to see if words were added or taken away. And it really is just confidence boosting to see from draft 1 to the last draft. So just remember, your rough draft is supposed to be rough, and it's just for you. So hang in there, guys. Alright guys, that's my rant for the evening. I'm gonna go because my friend's on Skype, and I'm pretty sure he's starting to get tired. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and we're actually going to be talking about the writing process in the next video. I'm really excited for this. I'm super excited to finally be getting into this because I was putting it off because I was like, I want to wait till I get a better camera. And I realized that if I keep waiting and being like, I'll wait till I get a better camera, I'm not going to do it. So it's coming, guys. The videos that I've been promising are finally coming, and I'm just going to do them to the best of my ability and make sure the content is good enough for you guys. Alright, I'll check you later. Bye!